Good afternoon. This is Cynthia Campbell with the County Employees Retirement Fund, and I will review the processes of uploading payrolls into the new CAR system. Before I begin, I just want to give you a brief introduction of the accounting department here at SERV. There are 4 people in the department, myself, Cynthia Campbell, Darla Snellen, Maria Holly, and Kim Lucanati. What we do in the accounts department is we divide all the counties between the 4 of us, but even though each person is assigned a set number of counties, it is not uncommon for us to overlap and review each other's counties and work with each other's counties. So it wouldn't be unusual for you to hear from any one of us. Although I have listed the contact information for each one in the department, if you're unsure of who to contact, you can feel free to use the accounting@moserv.org address listed at the top. That email address will go to each of us, and someone will definitely get back to you. Okay, so changes to the payroll reporting process. Currently, when you report payroll information to SERV, you upload to an external server, and someone here at SERV pulls it down and loads it into our system. As part of the new CAR system, the counties will upload directly into the CAR system. In addition to uploading directly into the system, you will also be able to see any errors related to the payroll information, and you will also be able to make corrections directly into our system. Now, bear in mind, even though the process for reporting information to SERV is changing, the overall format of the reports that are used to submit information to SERV is not changing. Okay. There are different definitions in the new system that we are not used to, so I just thought I'd review those as well. A payroll header is what we've previously referred to as the periodic payroll report. Payroll detail is the individual rows of information on the payroll header. And then the payroll summary is it's like a container that holds all the payrolls for a specific month. So for example, if you want to see all the payrolls submitted for your county for December 2015, if you go into the December 2015 payroll summary, you will list all of them there in one place. Okay, so before payrolls can be uploaded into the new CAR system, we'll have to format them. Now, again, as I mentioned before, we'll still have the 2 types of files. We have the flat file, which was more than likely created by a programmer, and then the Microsoft Excel file, which is usually manually created within the counties. Just a reminder, although we have the new system for reporting payroll information, the supplemental information that we've received in the past for those counties that are making contributions on behalf of their employees will still need to be sent to SERV. We are required to collect that information by our auditors. So again, the supplemental information listing the portion of the contributions for the employees that the county is making will still need to be submitted in a separate document. So before information can be uploaded into the CAR system, it has to be properly formatted. A lot of these formatting issues, or most of them, are referring to the Excel file. The majority of the flat files don't have any additional formatting to be required. But every file that is uploaded must be named properly. And the naming convention is 3 digits for the county number, underscore the county name with the capital letter, and then the word county, again with the capital C, underscore, and then the payroll begin date. So in this case, it's 2015 underscore 08 underscore 01. And this is an example of an August 1st payroll begin date for Cole County. Again, additional notes when formatting the spreadsheets. Only SERV participants receiving compensation for the pay period should be on the report. So only SERV eligible employees, but also employees that are receiving pay. So if you have an employee who is out on a leave of absence, they should not appear on the report if they're not receiving pay. You can't just report zeros and leave them on the report. Also, all of the columns that contain numeric values must be totaled on the last row of the spreadsheet. And if it doesn't contain numeric values, the total row still must be completed. It just, like if it should be a date, then it should be a date or the county number or anything like that. You can't have an incomplete total row. And all of the numeric, the values with numeric, the columns, excuse me, with numeric values must be formatted as numbers with 2 decimal places. Again, on the spreadsheets, please do not hide any rows or columns. Even if you can't see the information in a row or column because you've hidden it, the system will still be able to read the information in that row. Also, there can't be any blank rows or columns or any within the data area. So if the value is 0, a 0 must be put in. It will not assume if a column is blank that the value is 0. The social security numbers must be formatted as a text without any dashes. The reason it must be formatted as a text is if you have a social security number that starts with 0, any other formatting type, you will lose that lead 0 and it will appear that your social doesn't have enough digits. And again, we ask that you confirm prior to uploading that your payroll reports have the correct payroll dates. And the receipt date needs to be correct also. So this is just an example of what a completed spreadsheet should look like. So you'll notice that the total row is complete. There's a value in each column of the total row up until column O. You'll notice that there's no dashes in the Social Security number. As far as the name column goes, it is not a requirement to have first name, then last name, or last name first or anything. There's no extra formatting on that column. In the logger status column, you just need to make sure that there's a capital Y for if they're loggers and a capital N if they're non-loggers. In the payroll, in the header row, there's no specific way it should read either. So it doesn't have to say record type. It can just say record or year here for period year, month for period month. So if it doesn't read exactly as you see it there, it will not cause any issues with uploading the payroll. Okay, so now that we have the report formatted, here are the steps for uploading the payroll. First, you log into the CAR system using the login information that has been provided. You select the upload files hyperlink, and then you select the file type that you will be using, either an Excel file or a text file. After selecting your file type, you will select the reporting frequency. Now, these are all the options available for reporting frequency, but if your county only pays monthly and biweekly, you will only see monthly, biweekly, and special as one of your options in your drop-down menu. A special payroll is a payroll that falls outside of your regular payroll reporting cycle. So for example, if you have a member who has been terminated and you just ran a special payroll to pay them out only and you wanted to report that, you would report it as a special payroll. Or if you are one of those counties that has grant pay, but you like to report it separate from your other regular payrolls, if you do report grant pay separately, it would fall under the category of a special payroll. So that's why that option's available to all counties. Okay, after selecting your frequency, you need to browse to the appropriate file and then click the upload file box. Just a special note on the payroll frequency, if a county decides to change its payroll frequency, you will need to contact the SERF office. That is not something you would be able to do from your end. Even though you can see the frequency in CARS, we would have to make that change. Okay, so after you upload the file, one of two things happens. First, every file is checked for file errors, and a file error would be Social Security numbers that are not 9 characters or something like that. If there are any file errors, the system will stop processing the file and it will immediately list on the screen what the issues are. And so if you have any file errors that appear on the screen, what you will need to do is go back to the original file, make those corrections, and then upload that file again. If it passes the file errors processing, then the system will upload the file and then it will review the actual data on the file. and data errors don't show up immediately on the screen. After the file is loaded and things are checked, it takes a couple minutes and you'll be able to actually pull up the file that you loaded to review and see if there are any errors. And at the most, it could take up to 10 minutes before you can see the file, but it's usually only a couple of minutes. So viewing and correcting data errors. First, you have to locate the file. One of the ways to find a payroll header that you've uploaded is to select payroll header from the left navigation panel, enter the payroll begin date of the payroll header, and click the search button. Now there are different search options that you can search on. So I just usually use the payroll begin date, but you can use any of the options listed. Or you don't have to put anything in the search options window. You can just hit the search button and all the payroll headers will come up in reverse order. So the most recent will be on top. Okay. Once you have located the file that you want to open, you check the box next to that file and click the open button. When you open up the file, each row within that file will have a status, and it will either be valid or review. If the status is valid, it means that all information for that row checked out and there are not any questions. If the status is review, then it means you need to review the information. There's a question about the information reported on that row. So there are different types of errors that you will see. There's a hard error, and a hard error is an error that requires you to do something. For example, if the contribution doesn't appear to be the correct percentage of the salary that has been reported, then we assume, or there's an expectation that the salary or the contribution amount reported is incorrect. What you would do is open up that row and you would make the correction, whichever it is, hit the save button, and as long as the information now matches what we expect based on the contribution is now the correct percentage of the salary listed, then the status of that row will change to valid and you're done. Okay. Now, in the situation where the information on the payroll report is truly what happened, even though it was incorrect, so the contribution amount that was withheld is not the correct amount or the correct percentage of the salary due to some error or something like that, when payroll was ran, we do not want you, or we're not asking you to change that information so that you can get past the error. If in fact what is listed is what truly happened on the payroll, there's a comment box where you would be able to state that, we underpaid or overpaid by X dollar amount and we will correct it on the next payroll. And then once you put that comment in, you can suppress the warning, hit save, and then you're done. So we're not asking you to report incorrect information, but you have to tell us what happened, and then you can still move past the error. For other types of errors, which are warning or informational, we just need you to review it. So if someone had a salary of $2,000 on one payroll and then the next payroll that salary is $5,000, the system will flag that because that is a big difference from one payroll to the next, and you don't expect salaries to fluctuate that widely from one payroll to the next, so it will flag it. If the information is correct and that a larger salary amount does not include any type of payout of vacation, comp, or sick leave, then you can just suppress the warning and move on. Suppress the warning, hit save, and move on. If in fact the member received a payout of vacation, comp, or sick leave in the current year on that current payroll, but if any of the time was earned on any prior year, we need the dollar amount of the portion of the payout that was earned any prior year entered in the comments box. And once you enter that amount in the box, you can still suppress the warning and move on. But again, you only have to put something in the comments box if they received a payout that was attributable to a prior year. Otherwise, you can just suppress the warning and move on. Okay. So, and again, after you've addressed all the issues, then the row will change from review to valid. Once all the rows are valid, you should have a submit button at the top of the screen of the payroll header maintenance screen. and you have to submit the payroll. That is how SURF knows that you're done and we need to take over. Now, if you submit a payroll and then you have the status of the roles or some of the roles changed to review, do not be alarmed. Once the payroll is submitted to SURF, there's additional checks on the information that occur, and some of the roles are flagged for us to look at. But if you've submitted and you don't hear from us, then everything is okay. So once you're submitted, you're done unless you hear from someone at the SURF office. Okay. So now we're done submitting payrolls, but in addition, or something that goes along with submitting payrolls, is the deposit exception form. The deposit exception form is the form that we ask that you submit anytime you're reporting payroll funds that don't match the total of the payroll. In most situations, it's when a county is using its county credits. So this will also be an electronic process in CARS. So first you would log on to the CARS portal, select the deposit exceptions hyperlink in the left navigation panel, and click the new button. And then another window will open. And in that window, you will enter a lot of the same information that you did on the paper reports. The receipt date of the payroll begin date, and payroll end date in the boxes provided. Then you will enter the amount of the deposit that you should send. Now, this is how much the payroll should total. That's how much you should remit. And then in the next box, you will enter the funds remitted amount, which is the amount that you actually are paying. And then down below, whichever option will apply, which will look similar to the paper report, you will enter the amount of the credit that you're using. And you click the Save button. The system will verify that all that information adds up, meaning that the amount of the deposit minus the amount that you're actually sending equals the amount of the credit that you have indicated you're using. Okay, once all those numbers check out, again, you will get a Submit button. Once you hit Submit, you're done. Okay. In addition to another form that goes along with reporting payroll is the final employee compensation verification report. This is the report that SURF will send when someone terminates vested, and we want to confirm all the contributions that since their data hire, and then we want to verify that any of the payout that they may have gotten as a result of terminating is want to verify if any of it is attributable to a prior year. This is the report that we will send you, but again, this will be in the CARS system. You will not get any more paper reports. Okay. Steps for submitting the form. This specific form always originates in the SURF office. Now, don't feel like you have to go out there and look in the system to see if we've sent you a form. We will let you know if we've entered a form in the system that we need you to review. Okay? So after logging into the CARS system to find the form, once you've been notified by either mail or a phone call, you need to log into the system and click the salary verification hyperlink. On the salary verification lookup screen, you will enter any information that will help you find the member that you have handy. Last name, first name, social security number, or again, you can just hit the search button and it'll list all the forms. And once you find the form that you're looking for, you click the box next to it and click the open button. And then you just enter the requested information, which will be the total employee contributions paid while employed by the county, including buyback payments, the total county contributions that the county made on behalf of the member, and then there will be a box to put the total of those two numbers, and then the gross salary for the current year, and then in some cases we may ask for the prior year's salary. It depends on how early in the year they terminated. And then the total dollar amount of payout, if any, that the member received. Once you've entered all the required information, you'll click the Save button. And then as long as the information checks out, again, you will get a Submit button. And again, you will have to click the Submit button, and that's how SURF will know you're done. All right, so just a quick review. Payroll headers must be in the proper format, and they must be named properly before you can upload them in the system. After uploading payroll headers, all rows in review must be addressed. So you need to, once you upload, you're not done. You need to review the information that has been uploaded. And then after you've addressed all the questions and anything like that, you will have to submit the payroll. And again, that's how SURF knows you're done and it is time for us to do our part. Anytime when you're working in cars, if you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the account specialist for your county, and we will gladly help you. We understand that this is a big change, and we are still here to help, as we always have been before in the past. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.